What is up, YouTube? Welcome to Premium MMA. My name is Hydro, aka Big Splash. I'm here to give you my quick picks for UFC Fight Night, France versus Amir Albazi. Let's get straight into it. First match to start the night off, we got Philippe Lins versus maxin grishin. These two are both vets. They've been in the UFC for a while, and I respect both of them. They're both really good fighters, but I still think Philippe Lins got it. He came off of a good win off his last fight. That was a great win, and I didn't expect him to win. I was actually going for his opponent, but Philippe Lins, he showed he still got it even at the age of 37, which is not too old, but it's getting up there. But maxin grishin, he kind of still got it too. He still likes to fight. He's 32-9. He has a great record, very experienced record. So this fight, I believe, it could go the distance, because with Maxim's IQ and just his experience, he's been going the distance with the best of them. Philippe Lins, he's been going the distance with the best of them and knocking out the best of them. He just knocked out a dude that was younger than him. And I got Philippe Lins in this matchup just because I think Philippe Lins just got that much more fire in him. So I got Philippe Lins. Next up, we got blackshear versus luan lacerda. This is going to be a good match for Lacerda to get a win back. But I am going for blackshear in this matchup just because the UFC experience. Because Luan Lacerda, I thought he was gonna win his UFC debut, but he only went in there like it was a damn jiu-jitsu match. This is an MMA fight, and you can't be doing that. And Damone here, he's most likely the better all-around fighter. Probably, I'll say Luan is a little bit better in the striking. Blackshear leaves his chin wide open when he throws his strikes, which I don't like. But Blackshear's ground game is actually pretty nice. He has a wrestling game and a good just grappling game, like scrambling game. And I believe he could get the win here, maybe in decision. Luan Lacerda really didn't show me anything. He didn't impress me in his debut. But Blackshear is also not an elite fighter as well. So Luan can get a win here. He can. This is a 50-50 match for me. Because Luan's better standing up, and you could say he's better on the ground, but even his last opponent was able to defend all Luan's submissions and all that. So I got Blackshear in this matchup. Next up, we got Elise versus Frey. I got Jinh in this one. She is older. She's 37, but this girl got hands. She'll put the pressure on you or on her opponents and just keep throwing them strikes and jabs. She's so calculated and so technical with her boxing. She loves to lead with that jab, which I like. That's the basics of boxing, that jab, 1-2, which she does. She doubles up on her jabs all the time, and she knows how to adjust in a lot of fights. Elise is a good fighter as well. I'll say she's a good grappler. I don't know if Elise would be the better grappler in this matchup, but all I know, this match will stay strictly on the feet, and Jinh likes to keep it on the feet. She doesn't grapple a lot. She never tries to take it to the ground. If anything, her opponents always try to clinch her up against the fence and take it to the ground. But Frey, she's good at reversing positions on the cage and just getting out of that clinch and just keep it striking, keep her range. And I think she'll be a problem here for Elise I do think it will go to the decision. Elise will be tough enough to stay in the fight. And Elise she's not no scrub. I'm not saying she's a scrub, but I just believe Frey is the better all-around fighter in this matchup. Elise has not impressed me yet in the UFC, but Frey, she still got it. She still got those hands, and those hands are quick. And she has power as well. And she actually has a chin, as you could tell. But my pick here is Frey. Next up, we got Daniel Santos versus Johnny Munoz. They were supposed to fight last week, but I don't know what happened. I didn't really look into it. But at first, I was going for Daniel Santos, and I'm still going for Daniel Santos. I just think Daniel Santos is the tougher and better fighter in this matchup. Munoz is a good all-around fighter as well. He could strike with you, he could take you down, and his takedown defense is actually pretty good. I think it's better than what they say it is on paper. Daniel Santos, on the other hand, is just really good. He'll be able to get those takedowns on Johnny Munoz. And I believe he'll outstrike Johnny Munoz. And I think he's stronger than him as well. Johnny Munoz, he is a good fighter, but I don't think his chin will hold up against Daniel Santos. Other than that, Johnny Munoz is going to try to keep the distance in this fight. Daniel Santos is going to close that distance and just beat up Johnny. And I think Daniel Santos could get a knockout in this matchup against Johnny, because I don't think Johnny has that chin. I really don't. He doesn't have a chin. He'll get put away. And Daniel Santos is a crazy fighter, and he has a bunch of power for the bantamweight division. So I got Daniel Santos in this matchup. Next up, we got Abubakar Nurmagomedov versus Elizeu dos Santos. I got Nurmagomedov in this matchup. I do think Nurmagomedov is the better all-around fighter. Dos Santos, he's dangerous. Don't sleep on him. He is dangerous. That's why I'm not betting on this fight. This fight is closer than what people think. Yeah, he's Russian, he's a Nurmagomedov, but Dos Santos, he's a OG as well, and he's a dog. Go look at his resume. But I do have Nurmagomedov in this matchup being just the better all-around fighter. Nurmagomedov is the better wrestler. Their striking we're gonna see how Nurmagomedov is with the striking in this matchup. But I do think Nurmagomedov can hang with Dos Santos. But Dos Santos does have a crazy good takedown defense, and his hands are quick. So that's all Nurmagomedov has to be careful about. It's just his hands, really. But I do believe Nurmagomedov could hang on the feet with Dos Santos, and for sure out wrestle and out grapple Dos Santos. Maybe get a submission in this matchup. But Dos Santos, he's good at getting back to the feet. He's very aware once he hits the ground, and like I said, he just has that UFC experience. He's an OG in the UFC. I wouldn't say OG, but I'm saying he's been fighting for 10 plus years. I do have Nurmagomedov in this matchup. Next up, we got Jamie Mullarkey versus Guram Kutateladze. I'm going for Jamie Mullarkey all the way here. He's been impressing me a lot, and he's just been knocking dudes out. And even when these fights go to decision, you know Jamie Mullarkey won. It's never close. Jamie Mullarkey is such a skilled fighter, and he has gotten better since 2020. The past couple years, 2021, 2022, 2020, now 2023, he's been looking sharp, very sharp. And I think he can make his way up to the top 10 and sneak his way into the top 5. Get to fight a top 5er soon, or at least this year. And Guram is a tough fighter too. Guram is a tough fighter. The dude is tough. He stays in the fight, and he's a brawler. He's more of a brawler than a technical fighter, because once he gets technical at first, he leads with his jab, does 1-2s as well, and he has a good over right hand and a rear straight hand. But once he starts getting touched up, he just starts brawling. And I believe Jamie Mullarkey here will knock Guram out if he brawls with him. You don't want to brawl Jamie Mullarkey or even go to the ground with Mullarkey. But I do think this match is going to stay on the feet. If anything, if it does go to the ground, it's going to be Jamie Mullarkey taking this dude to the ground just whenever he wants to. And if it's on the feet, Jamie Mullarkey is going to outstrike Guram as well. Probably find a knockout. Because like I said, Guram will start street fighting, will start brawling. And that's not good, because once you start brawling, you swing crazy hooks and you leave your chin in the air. And Jamie Mullarkey is so technical and so talented, he'll find that chin and get you out of here. So my pick here in this matchup is Jamie Mullarkey. Next up, we got Karine Silva versus Ketlen Vieira. I got Karine Silva all the way in this matchup. I even had her last week when they were supposed to fight, but I don't know what happened. I don't be paying attention to all that. It's just the fight got canceled. But they're fighting this week. Karine Silva is going to get a win. I think she's going to be a huge favorite. Ketlen, she's no pushover, but Karine Silva just has the skills just to beat up most of these flyweights. And I believe she could make it to the top 5 here in the flyweight division. She could probably go up to bantamweight and beat up some of those girls too. She is that good. Silva's striking is decent, but she uses her striking to set up those takedowns, and when she takes you down to the ground, it's a wrap. It is done. She will submit you. She has submitted all her opponents so far and gotten finishes, and within like the first or second round, which is crazy to me, especially with these women fights. Karine Silva is just a dog in this matchup. I think she's going to outdog Ketlen, and this is just going to be another easy win for Karine Silva. So my pick here is Karine Silva. Next up, we got Tim Elliot versus Victor Altamirano. This was a hard match to pick for me. That's why I'm going with the bias pick. And my bias pick here is Victor. I like Victor more as a fighter. I like his style more, and I just like his personality more. Tim Elliott, his hands down, chin up, and doing all that. I don't like that, but he also is a good fighter. For some reason, he's hard to put away. He'll go to decision with you and outstrike you, and he's tough. He does have a chin. He doesn't get knocked out that much. And his ground game is pretty good too. He could take you down, but he doesn't really look for submissions. He just looks for control time and just more significant strikes on the ground. But other than that, once he gets that, and if you're able to get back up to your feet, he'll just strike with you and try to take you down again. Victor, on the other hand, he's the same exact way. These two both have the craziest style in fighting. Victor's style is awkward. Tim's style is awkward. This is the clash of awkward styles, but it's like a good awkward. Like, these two could fight. But I do have Victor Altamirano in this matchup being the better striker. And I do think he'll be able to piece up Tim Elliott, with Tim Elliott having his damn hands all down and Tim doing all that dumb shit. If Tim Elliott tries to get this to the ground, I believe Victor will have good takedown defense or even reverse those takedowns, because Victor Altamirano is really good on the ground as well. He's good at his scrambles and he's good at submissions. He has a submission in the UFC and he has knockouts in the UFC. Victor is just a great all-around fighter, but like I said, he has an awkward style. But this is just the clash of the awkward styles, which is great. This is going to be an exciting fight. I hope this fight gets fight of the night. But my pick here for this matchup is Victor Altamirano. Next up, we got Jim Miller versus Jared Gordon. Jim Miller looked good in his last fight. He did. But he did not get the win. But he did. He still looked tough. He still looked like he can hang in there. But I do have Jared Gordon in this fight. Jared Gordon, I don't know if he'll be able to put away Jim Miller just because how tough Jim Miller is. But Jared Gordon will win in decision for sure. If it goes to decision, it's Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon is going to outstrike Jim Miller. Jared Gordon is going to out-wrestle Jim Miller. Jared Gordon is just all around a good all around fighter. He's good on the feet, he's good on the ground, and he really showed that against that Patty fight. And I don't care, Jared Gordon, it could have gone either way, but Jared Gordon did. I believe Jared Gordon won that fight, but I was still going for Patty. I had Patty in my parlay, and that robbery, woo! But I do have Jared Gordon in this matchup. Jared Gordon is a great all-around fighter, and honestly, he needs that run back with Patty. I'm not lying. He needs to get that win back over Patty, because I'll be pissed off. I was like, wow, that really just happened? No, that didn't. Even though he lost in that Patty fight, Jared Gordon still impressed me. I do think he can hang and beat up most of these lightweights, and I do think in this matchup here, he is beating up Jim Miller. So my pick in this matchup is Jared Gordon. Next up, we got Alex Caceres versus Daniel Pineda. This is going to be a real exciting fight. These are two very experienced fighters that's been in the UFC for years, 10 plus years. And these two fighters, I love them, dude. I couldn't pick at first, because it's not that, like, their fighting styles are really different. That's why I really just was like, okay, I'm going to take away the favoritism and I'm just going to really watch their footage and see how their styles will match up. And doing that, I got Alex Caceres. Daniel Pineda is tough. He's came back from losing rounds. I think he's got, like, I forgot what fight it was I watched, but he got knocked down in that fight. He got ground and pounded all in the second round. And third round, he just came back, boop, 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 knocked out his opponent. So he is tough. He does have a chin. Alex Caceres, on the other hand, is just the more technical fighter. He could find a knockout. And he'll submit you as well. He's good on the ground. But I believe this match is going to stay on the feet. And if there's any clinching or anyone trying to take someone down, it's just going to be all on the fence and in the clinch. And Alex Caceres is just good. I wonder what his main martial art is, because he looks like a kickboxer out there. Just the way he just be throwing them kicks, them setting up them 1-2 feints and then high kicks. He did look good against his win against Julian. I was going for Julian Erosa in that fight. But Alex Caceres, he's a dog, and he's just so technical and knows how to set up his shots and just big, powerful shots. That's why I wonder if he's a kickboxer. Because when he throws his punches, elbows, knees, kicks, they're all with power. And I do believe Alex Caceres here can knock out Daniel Pineda. But Daniel Pineda is still my dude. He's still one of my favorite fighters in the featherweight divisions. But I got Alex Caceres winning this fight. Finally, we got the main event. Kai Kara-France versus Amir Albazi. I am so excited for this fight. This is a great matchup. This is a tough matchup, but I'm going with France. Amir Albazi is no joke. He's nothing to be played with. But I believe here, France is going to keep this on the feet or try his best to keep it on the feet and just outstrike Amir. Amir is good at striking as well. His striking has gotten way better since in the past 2 years, and he always had a grappling wrestling game. But France and just the people who he trains with in his camp, I believe he can get it done here. Even though he did lose, he did get knocked out with that body kick by Brandon Moreno, but that's Brandon Moreno, y'all. But even in that fight, he was piecing up Moreno. He actually showed if it went the distance, this could have went either way. France really impressed me with that fight with him versus Brandon Moreno, and he really showed that he got better. He got better at the scrambling, at the wrestling. He got better with his hands. His hands looked sharp in that fight until Brandon Moreno got that knockout. But other than that, I do have France in this matchup being the more experienced fighter and just being the better all-around fighter. Amir Albazi is a great all-around fighter as well. So that's why I'm not going to put no money on this fight. I'm just let these flyweights just handle their business and just be excited. This matchup right here is going to have me at the edge of my seat. But I will be rooting for France. So the pick here for this matchup is France. Well, that is it for my quick picks for UFC Fight Night. France versus Amir Albazi. I really appreciate y'all for tuning in. If y'all enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.